Hey there, my name's Nick Sobecki, and welcome to my crowdfunding video. I recently tweeted out a request asking, what questions would you want a PhD candidate requesting crowdfunding to answer before donating? Here are some of the questions along with my answers. The first question is, who are you? Well, as I said, my name is Nick Sobecki, and I'm currently a PhD candidate at the University of Alabama's Department of Political Science. If you didn't already know, a PhD candidate is someone who's passed their comprehensive exams and has already successfully defended their dissertation prospectus. All I have left now is to analyze my research, write up the dissertation, and successfully defend my dissertation in front of my committee. Thank you for visiting my fundraising page and taking the time to watch this video. Some more information about me. I'm currently 30 years old and hold a BA in English from Indiana University Bloomington, and I also have 2 master's degrees. My first master's degree is from Maastricht University and is in European Studies. My second master's degree is from the University of Alabama, and I earned it in political science after I passed my comprehensive exams. When I'm not working on my dissertation, I enjoy long distance running and working out with my girlfriend, creative writing, reading, watching anime, and playing tabletop role-playing games with my friends. If it's not obvious already, I'm obviously a healthy nerd. I value people and my connections to them, and think that people are the most important thing in this world. I also greatly value education. I think everyone should have access to a good education so that they are prepared to seize opportunities. Well, if I'm being completely honest, I almost didn't choose to apply here. However, the university sent me a postcard after I completed the GRE exam, and my dad pointed out that given that they have a great football program, they might also have a lot of funding for graduate students and research centers. I looked up their faculty, and I was instantly attracted to the fact that all 4 of the international relations professors studied international security in some way, and they researched something related to it, such as civil wars, the Israel-Palestine conflict, wars between countries, and regional security orders. I immediately applied and had fruitful conversations with the then Director of Graduate Studies. When I was told they were trying to get me funding, I told them I would automatically accept if they were able to offer me a fellowship and/or graduate teaching assistantship. They did, and I did immediately after. My goals are that I want to work with and help others as a servant leader. I'm currently applying to serve by teaching at professional military education institutes like the Air Command and Staff College, Naval War College, Army War College, as well as others. I'm also applying to work for the US government and international organizations such as the United Nations. I'm also open to working for corporations, nonprofits, and civilian universities as long as I am in a position to use my knowledge about strategies to teach others and help them on their paths. The next question is, what is your research about? I study a group of people that often go overlooked in political science studies when it comes to how governments work and decisions are made. These people are US military and civilian personnel at the working and senior levels, but not the leaders themselves, which most researchers focus on. My primary research agenda focuses on understanding their experiences and thoughts when it comes to developing strategies, policies, and plans that are meant to guide how the US government acts outside of its borders. Such strategies, policies, and plans include but are not limited to the 2017 National Security Strategy, the 2018 National Defense Strategy, the Department of State and USAID Joint Strategic Plan, and more. My goals in terms of my research are to bridge the gap between academia and policy and have a positive impact on how governments develop, implement, and assess their strategies, policies, and plans. I want to use my knowledge and abilities to teach future military officers, civil servants, and policymakers what to expect in the real world and what the best practices are. I also want to use my knowledge of how governments work in order to help them make better decisions and help those in need, providing for a better world for everyone. The next question is, why do you think your research is important? I think my research is important for a variety of reasons. First, there is almost no empirical research that has been done regarding the development of strategies, policies, and plans, and there has been essentially zero research that takes into account the working and senior level bureaucrats. These military, foreign, and civil servants do the majority of work when it comes to developing, implementing, and assessing the rhetoric and actions of a government. So, if we want to understand why countries do what they do, then we need to understand these groups of people, their professions, and their practices. Another reason why I think my research is important is because there's already a lot of publications out there telling people how they're supposed to go about creating strategies, policies, and plans. However, oftentimes this research is based on anecdotal evidence or is based on maybe one case study. However, in my research I found that almost everybody's experiences have slight differences and not each case is exactly the same. And so, if we want to be able to have better strategists, policy, and military planners, then they need to be able to see all of the variation that might occur when they go to practice it themselves. The next question is, what problem arose in the scholarship process? I think that this question can have two different meanings. The first is, what problem arose during my graduate career relating to conducting my research? The second is, what problem arose with my funding? To answer the first question, there were some difficulties and challenges that arose during my graduate career. I worked as a graduate teaching assistant for 1 year, an instructor of record for 4 years, and a graduate community director with housing and residential communities for 1 year in order to pay for my schooling. These positions take a lot of time to prepare for and do well in. I'm thankful I had these positions for both the experiences and also the funding. I also used qualitative data gathering and analysis methods in my research. I spent 40 days in Washington, D.C. and Norfolk, Virginia, interviewing current and former military and civilian personnel and running a focus group to gather original data. I then spent a semester using phone and Skype calls to continue conducting interviews. Around the same time that I was gathering my data, the first impeachment process of former President Donald Trump was taking place, which probably led to many of my initial contacts to cancel or avoid being interviewed by me towards the end, making getting interviews more difficult. Qualitative data gathering and analyses often take more time than quantitative projects, so it is not uncommon for the average Ph.D. with a qualitative project to take 6 to 8 years to graduate. This will be my 7th and final year. I also became quite sick this year and was hospitalized twice, once in January and once in February. At the same time, my partner contracted some mysterious disease that multiple doctors and specialists have been unable to identify. As her partner, I do my best to always be there for her, especially given that she does not have a car and needed to travel to 3 different cities to attend appointments. I have also been facing a challenging set of life circumstances during most of my PhD career. Our teaching fellowship stipends are only a few $1,000s above the poverty line, between $13,500 and $14,440 when I was a GTA. And the first year graduate community director stipend is only $650 per month for a 10 months contract. We got an apartment in our residence hall for free, however housing scholarships get taxed. In order to supplement my income, I applied for and have received SNAP benefits or food stamps off and on for the last 2 years. Worked as a tutor for 4 semesters and have applied for a number of internal and external travel and research grants. While the first 2 years were hard, I started facing increasingly difficult personal and life challenges at the beginning of my 3rd year. These have included personal health issues, a poor standard of living, the death of one of my grandmothers, and the worsening of my other grandmother's Alzheimer's and dementia symptoms. As research and students will tell you, such hurdles greatly impact one's ability to work and study, both of which I've been doing simultaneously. In regards to the second question, what problems arose with my funding, the answer is more straightforward. Graduate teaching assistantship fellowships are only for 5 years. Graduate community director fellowships are also limited and are similarly based on a year-to-year application. The 2 biggest issues are the lack of funds from low stipends, when I need to be presenting at conferences and universities to network and advertise my research, and the lack of time. Both teaching and running a residence hall take up more than the 20 hours per week that are claimed. Therefore, receiving funds from you in order to dedicate this year to completing my dissertation, applying for jobs, and working on publishing secondary research will free me to better my chances of getting hired after I graduate and also focus on my personal growth. The next question is, what is your completion plan? I am currently using Scrum and the Pomodoro technique to better manage my dissertation project in time by completing manageable chunks in weekly sprints. I plan on finishing a completed draft of my dissertation by the end of August 2021 and submitting my final draft to my dissertation co-chairs by October 10th, 2021. They will need between October 10th and 31st to read the entire dissertation. With their permission, I will send individual chapters to my dissertation committee members to get feedback. I will then turn in the final revision on November 7th, 2021. The dissertation committee will then have a reading period between November 7th and the 29th of 2021. I will defend my dissertation sometime between November 29th and December 3rd. Oftentimes, candidates are given revisions to make by the dissertation committee after their defense. I will have until December 23rd, 2021 to complete those revisions and turn in the dissertation for final approval. After receiving final approval, I will have my department upload the proper paperwork between December 4th, 2021 and January 18th, 2022. I will upload my dissertation to ProQuest and apply to graduate after the forms are submitted. I will then graduate in early May 2022. The final question is, what can someone that wants to help do to assist you? By you, someone you know, or your organization donating money to assist me in meeting each of my funding tiers. You can donate to me here on my crowdfunding page by mailing donations to my current mailing address, which is 1831 University Station, mail stop code 205777, Tuscaloosa, Alabama 35487, by sending donations over Venmo at N.K. Sobecki, that's N as in Nick, K as in kite, and my last name, Sobecki, Sobecki, or via PayPal at paypal.me/Nicholas Sobecki. You can also share my story and fundraising information with your friends, family, network, or the public via your social media accounts, word of mouth, email, text, posters, etc. And of course, you could do all of the above. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to and watch this video, and I really hope that you will consider donating to my cause.